Welcome to Top Questions when considering moving to Panama. So one of the first questions are, what are the top cities for expats? I'm getting a lot of questions about mountain, beach, obviously Casco Viejo, modern city, relationship with like water, all of that, island living. And it's confusing, right? Panama is so small, but it's so diverse. We have a little bit of everything. In terms of top cities for expat, it's absolutely going to depend on the lifestyle that you want. Most people have in their minds that they want to be at the beach, but that comes with its own pros and cons, which we will touch here. The first cut is, okay, what do you want to do? What's the lifestyle that you dream about? And eventually we'll get to how does that look for your case, because the things that you will need in combination with that lifestyle then will define the where. Top cities, one for each example. Obviously here in Panama City, I love Casco Viejo, but people love also Ocean Reef, Costa del Este, Punta Pacifica, Santa Maria. So there are very different lifestyles, one of each. Another neighborhood I absolutely love is El Cangrejo. They call it Crab Town. And that's just for the city. If you're going to be at the beach, you will find that places like Coronado, now Chame, projects like Playa Caracol are bringing those expat communities together in beach areas, but also giving them amenities and comfort, which up until now has been a little bit of a trade-off. Mountains, which is my favorite. You have mountains in Boquete, in Chiriquí, in Altos de Maria, in El Valle. So also depending on your budget, you'll find that different communities are more developed, less developed, more amenities, less amenities, closer, a plane away, 7 hours driving. Yes, that's a tough one. But luckily now Panama is well connected in many ways, also by flight. So it's not as difficult to get to certain areas. Depending on what you're going to look in terms of lifestyle, then you'll pick. Once the lifestyle, then the budget, and then the budget and the amenities, right? So how are they different in lifestyle? Let's pick three, just to be clear on these areas. Obviously the one that I know the most is Casco Viejo, because I've lived here now for 20 years. Casco Viejo has many pros, and depending on the lifestyle that you're looking for and what you're coming to do, it also has some cons. Pros, it is a historical city. You walk around, you meet everybody on the street, you have a coffee, you have culture, everything is very efficient as long as you live and you work online, you work here, like your life revolves here. You can have social life, you can have charity, you can have culture, everything in one neighborhood just walking around. Cons, traffic. It's a con in every single pocket. And I'll tell you why. Traffic in Panama in general is an issue. What ends up happening is that people pick their pocket and they live inside the pocket of lifestyle. And when they have to leave that pocket, they face traffic and they're like, traffic is terrible. No, traffic is terrible everywhere. It's terrible to get to that pocket too. It's just that you're living inside the goddamn pocket. There is heavy traffic coming into the San Felipe Peninsula and getting out of the San Felipe Peninsula, especially in working hours. So if your lifestyle is going to involve constantly coming in and out of any pocket of lifestyle, San Felipe might be a little bit difficult because of traffic coming in and out, and also the availability of parking, because not every property has parking. It's a historic city, and that is traditionally how these cities are. Parking is very limited. If you are going to have a car, make sure that the apartment has access to parking, or that there is parking for rent near you, and make sure that the hours that you need to enter or leave are not the peak hours of the workers, especially the government workers coming in and out like a wave. Now, if you are in Boquete, which again I adore, Boquete is the mountains, and you get access to all the mountain areas, because then there's Volcán, Cerro Punta, there's so much to do there. If you're an outdoorsy person and you're like a garden and flower person, it's lovely there. The weather is a sweater weather. I really enjoy that, the hikes. However, if you need to be near a hospital, and if you need to be really near infrastructure, take in consideration that you're gonna be either in a car 1 hour away from David, which is the main city with all the infrastructure, or even a plane ride away. So that's going to depend on you. You have to decide whether that's important or not to you. Driving to Boquete means driving from Panama City to David. That's going to be a good include 6-7 hours drive and then 1 hour up to Boquete. So driving is also time consuming. I know for people who live in big countries, they're so used to driving. 6-7 hours, I mean, it is heavy. If you do fly, and now there are great companies that fly and they have more and more flights, their daily flight, it is an hour flight, it is an easy flight. Domestic flying in Panama is very simple. Now, when you fly into the beach, and then in the beach you do need a car to go to Boquete. So make sure you know the logistics once you live there. How do you work that out? Keep that in mind. And then at the beach, this country has Caribbean and half Pacific. So we have beach. From the beach communities, which ones are the ones that have more infrastructure? Right now, the beach areas are growing. So there are traditional areas where the development started, like Coronado, for example, that there you will find the supermarket, the hospitals, the malls, a little bit of everything. You'll be able to shop and access health services and all of that. But you will be very much car-based. There was one client that wrote me, said, well, I want to be able to walk in the beach, go to a gym, have services nearby, walking distance. And I was struggling with finding the right community, but at the end of the day, places like Coronado do have everything. You will need a car. There are places that are growing, like Playa Caracol, like Chame. They're definitely growing. They are basically, let's call that an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Panama City. So that gives you a sense of distance and how to get there and all that. You won't be able to go to Coronado by plane. That's not how it's going to happen. You will be coming in and out by car. Traffic right now going there and back, especially during the weekends, tends to be really challenging. But everybody's got a theory and everybody's got like the favorite date to go to the beach. Like favorite hour. I mean, people get really like, no, but if I leave at 5 in the morning, be mindful. The beach communities, once you're there, you're truly there. And not necessarily you will have full services, walking distance. Once you're there, you really need the car. You will be able to move around. You will have the beach. You will be able to run on the beach and do exercise at the beach. But perhaps not every community is as walkable and as complete as you think they are. You really do need to go to each one and figure out which one is the one for you. You need to feel that vibe. And all of this is for the Pacific. On the Caribbean side, Bocas del Toro might be the province with more of that beach and amenities. Still, they are now implementing new infrastructure. For example, they have a new hospital, but is it fully bilingual? Yes or no? How much do you need that? Do you need to hop on a plane to the beach? All of that. If it's important to you, well, maybe we should have a conversation. And then you have the Colón side, which is just getting started and it's more pioneering. So there you go. 3 different lifestyles. I don't know which one is the one that's right for you. If you like this video, subscribe.